What is going on? Welcome back to another trade recap. And it's a losing trade. Two losing trades, actually. As you can see right here. One break even, one loss. Red on the day. And that's completely fine. Because I would take these setups over and over and over again. Countless times because they have printed money in the past and they will continue to print money in the future. It's just one of those days where the A plus doesn't quite work out. Tiny errors today, really. So I've already journaled, obviously. But let's get right into the recap. We'll obviously go on replay, cover my bias, cover everything. As you can see, the trades are right here. And then also on Top Step X, we'll get into that as well. So, because my trade on a combine was a little bit different, but we'll get into that in a second. So let's just delete all of this and get right into it. I'm going to quickly log out my broker as well. As you can see, down 600 on the day, account balance, obviously. That's fine. Quickly log out of there. So let's just get rid of everything. And let's zoom out to the daily. We'll start on the daily. So this is where yesterday's candle closed. And as you can see, I did have bullish PD arrays marked out. I had a daily gap marked out and this daily SMT that we had with ES. If we go on to the daily on ES, you can see ES took that sell side in this imbalance. Nice daily turtle soup. But I'm not bullish yet because price hasn't told me this becomes the draw yet. We've got two daily bearish gaps above, which I would like to see become the draw on liquidity, and also equilibrium of the range and OTE of the range, which I would like to see become the draw on liquidity. But price is yet to tell me that. So we were here. On the 4 hour, we've yet to have displacement back inside this range. We've yet to even open up a bearish gap until this one. The change in state is up here. We're yet to displace truly back inside this range yet. Until we displace back inside the range and put in a high and then displace through it, I'm not looking to be bullish. The draw is not higher yet because it has not told me the draw is higher yet. And then again, zooming in once more, we're currently in this 1 hour gap attack. So until this is ran, I can't think the draw is higher. And I can't physically think the draw is this daily gap yet, with these two daily gaps, until this 1 hour is ran through. I cannot be bullish yet because that's the mistake I made yesterday. I was bullish here when there was no reason to be because we were yet to really displace through any swing high, run a true imbalance. We were in this 1 hour. I don't want to make the same mistake I made 2 days in a row. I think being bullish here is just a guess. You don't know. Price is going to reverse off this. You don't know. Which is why I was bearish today. Which is why I was not bullish, because price was yet to tell me that this manipulation leg is valid. Price was yet to tell me that. So going in, I was very short biased. I was looking for the shorts. That's market open candle. Right, so here we are on the 1 hour. Got buy side resting above in this daily gap. And obviously got sell side down below. Take a look at our sessions. We've got London high right here. Zooming in again to the 15-minute now. I'm looking to shrink this gap. It's quite a big gap, so I made it this 15-minute gap right here. And this is what I'm looking at going into open. Let's go ahead and check on open. Here we go. So this is right before open. What am I looking at? Well, we've got sell side below, we've got buy side above. We're in an area we expect to reject the 1 hour imbalance. And we've just taken London high. Price just took London high. And from that, we've got a 15-minute change in the state of delivery. Right there. And a small 15-minute inverse. Right? Boom. And we've got Asia low right here. And we've also opened up a 15-minute gap. In OT of the previous price leg, in a 1 hour gap, London high is taken, changing the state, displacement back inside the range, lots of generated sell side, relative equal lows in an imbalance. That's a strong draw on liquidity. Sell side, Asia low, sell side, generated sell side, we've manipulated a high, had a stop trade, and had displacement from it, validating this as manipulation. Changing the state, inverse, and displacement equals fair value gap. So we've had a bearish gap, we've had displacement. So that's my bias going into open. That is why I was bearish. I cannot be bullish here. Yesterday, literally yesterday, I ignored this. Just quickly go to my journal from yesterday. Where's the 15-minute? I literally ignored this change in state and inverse, and I was bullish. Why was I bullish? Because I was looking at this range, and it didn't really matter. It didn't matter at all because the draw was still lower. So today, I didn't want to make the exact same mistake again. I was not going to ignore this. This is manipulation. Generated sell side. This is what I'm looking at. Going into the AM session. Perfect. I think this is the right bias. I think this is perfect. Zooming in again, we've got this 5-minute high nestled, which is the 15-minute gap. I'm looking to see this become manipulation before taking Asia low. We chop around, we make another 5-minute gap and put in an initial high in that 5-minute gap as well, and market opens. The right at open, we take Asia low. And immediately, as soon as price took Asia low, I said to myself, right, every short from here is now lower probability, but there's still much more room to the downside. Keep in mind, we also had an SMT at Asia low. Keep that in mind. So, market opens, dumps, takes Asia low, puts in an SMT. What do I want to see now? I want to see this SMT rebalance us. Equilibrium lines up perfectly with this internal high and this 5-minute gap right here. And boom, we take that high in the 5-minute gap and we put in an SMT at the time right here to these highs. We've got SMT right there. So at this point, I zoom in. Why? If we look at price action in the last couple of days, let me just clean this up a little bit. So we're in OT of this whole range. OT of this whole range, generated sell side, London high taken, 15-minute change in the state. And we're in this 5-minute gap. If the draw is lower, we expect this to hold. We've had a total sweep of the highs, internal highs taken, there's been a stop trade, SMT. I zoom into the 15-second. Why? Because the way market has been moving the past couple of days, price has just been going and it's been going quick. The way market sentiment is right now, we've just been going quick. Here, everything, in my opinion, is lined up right now. The 4-hour, bearish, with no reason to be going any higher. The 1 hour, thank you. In this 1 hour gap, London high is taken and we're displacing down. 15-minute, very bearish, very, very bearish. 5-minute, reacting off this 5-minute imbalance. Everything's in line. I zoom into the 15-second time frame. And this is what I see. So, this is the SMT we put in. This is the series of up-close candles. 15-second change in the state. 15-second inverse. Perfect entry. And I get in right here. But on this candle, because we close below here, we come back up, tap it, tap the change in state and displace. There's my entry, stop at the high, and I'm targeting this sell side level right here. The internal sell side level. And this is a perfect trade, in my opinion. This is a great trade. This is like the identical trade to what Justin took the other day. So my entry was around here, stop at the high, targeting this internal low. Great trade. We displace, run this 1-minute gap, open up a bearish gap, and I'm waiting now for a bearish close out. Boom, that candle closes, I go break even, I get stopped to break even. Perfect trade, perfect management, perfect entry, and whatnot. This is where I made my first mistake though. On the combine, there was this 1 minute gap, obviously. There was this 1 minute gap, and zoom back into the 15-second. Huge rejection wick out of the 1 minute gap. I enter in a second contract right here, around here, which brings my average fill to around here, I want to say. Targeting the same. And this is great in my opinion. So originally I was risking, I had 2 minis on my combine. So I was risking about $840, $820 on this trade, right? And then my second trade, I entered again and I moved my stop to here. So I was risking, oh no, sorry, I went to break even as well. Obviously, my bad. You can see 3.25. I didn't go to break even. I went to where my other entry was at break even. So here. And now I had half my risk. Well, I'd made my risk half. I lost $500 on this trade instead of 820. But I had the potential to make 4K. So I'd gone from making like 2K, 2.3K, risking $820 to making 4K, risking $500. My actual RR for this, at the time, it was about 6. If we look at where we got stopped out. So my average fill was around here. So I was barely risking anything. I was risking $500 to make 4K. So this is great. But why is it a mistake? Because I can't do the same on this account, which is there was now a discrepancy. I can't do the same on both accounts because I'm only trading 1 mini on here. I can't afford to go for a second mini on this because it will just blow my account. So I shouldn't have done this. If I was trading just on this account, this is great. This is a great ad. This is an amazing ad. Because if the draw is here, this should hold. And obviously, that wasn't the case. So that's the 15-second. That's what I used it for. 15-second change in state, 15-second inverse, pull back, displacement, boom. We did tap standard deviation of the range. But to be honest, I expect this internal low to get taken. So this is not in my concern. I expect sell side to be taken here. So I wasn't really focused on the standard deviation. I only use standard deviation for looking for targets past the internal low. I'm really looking at the internal low being taken because this entry has relation to this low. So that's the 15-second. That is a Top Step X account. And as you can see, I did take the other entry as well. When we get into that, I did take that as well. And I'm down a K on the day, which is fine because if we look at our performance stats, this was 1 winning trade. This trade shouldn't have happened. And this is 1 losing trade, 1 losing day. It's double. So I'm happy with that. I'm happy with my risk on this account so far. Going well. Let's get back into it. So now I'm out of break even on this trade and I step back and I reevaluate. I'm out of break even. That SMT gets invalidated and I step back and I look at what's going on. So now we've rebalanced to this 15-minute change in the state, to this 15-minute gap, to the 15-minute inverse, and we have an SMT here now. SMT. So we look at where ES is at the time. SMC right there. So what am I now waiting for? We rebalanced to a 15-minute gap, the 15-minute change in the state, the 15-minute inverse, SMT at the highs, and notice time here. We're in the 9:50 macro. We're going into 10 a.m. We've got 10 a.m. news, not big news, just new home sales, orange folder. I'm not going to wait for it. I'm going to look to use it as volume. So I'm just waiting now. I've seen all I need to see. I just need to wait for a 1 minute change in the state of delivery because we take this high right here. One more stop braid, one final stop braid. This is the series of up close candles or the singular up close candle. Displacement through that and through this swing low. here's our 1 minute gap. My second entry was about here. Stop at the high because this is the SMT. And I was targeting the same piece of internal sell side right here. At 9:58, going into 10 a.m. what happens is we close above the imbalance. Price 10 a.m. opens, we hold the imbalance, and then we get stopped out. And there was re-entry. If I waited for news, there was a re-entry off of this change in the state here. I didn't get in because I'm not going to take another trade. There was another stop rate, change in the state, and that didn't play out either. So overall, the two trades that I did take obviously were wrong, but my ideas and my drawn liquidity was not wrong. And that is one of the reasons why I waited for this to happen before making the recap, because I was still confident the draw was lower. I was still confident that the draw was lower. This 1 hour gap held bearish. We stayed in OTE of the range. We just had one final stop raid on the bigger time frame and then had that true displacement. So my drawn liquidity was correct, just not for the AM session. Price wanted to build more structure first, and then we went. There was an SMT at these highs, and I actually did. I was aware of this as it was happening. Obviously, I don't want to take another trade. I'm done for the day. After those two trades, I locked out, logged out. Boom. There's the 5 minute entry off that SMT, off the change in the state, off the 5 minute inverse, pull back to either, or pull back to this 5 minute gap right here, stop at the high. That's the 5 minute model playing out, then leave runners, obviously, to where you see fit. And that is the trade, and I was very much aware of this going on, and I was like, this setup looks perfect. My drawn liquidity still remains the same. And I will get that up now. As you can see, SMT at the highs was like, right, this 5 minute change in the state, this 5 minute inverse would be really nice. And then this SMT internally is put in. Here's a change in the state. There's the inverse. Obviously, I then left the charts to go to work, so I didn't see the full model playing out. But I was fully aware of what was going on and was fully aware that this would happen. So that is my trade recap really from today, covering today's price action. It's unlucky, it's painful, it's annoying, but these losses are fine. These losses are expected to happen. I would take today's trades over and over and over and over again. The only thing I would do differently is de-risking because Asia low was taken. I didn't de-risk. That's the only thing I would do differently. But this entry right here, really nice 15-second trade. I loved using 15 seconds today. It was just perfect. Everything was in line. Great trade in my opinion. And then this trade as well. Right here. And not the greatest because we were just sort of chopping. SMT was put in place in the 15-minute gap and the 15-minute change in the state. And I saw what I needed and I took it. We generated lows here, generated sell side, generated sell side. We were generating sell side and we displaced. And I entered without any hesitation, full conviction. And I took the loss and I stepped away. That's the most important thing. I took the loss and I stepped away. So now, obviously you don't know what price is going to do yet. But I can't be bullish yet. I'm still not bullish. We've now put in a swing high. If we displace through this, I can be bullish. As you can see, ES as well. Took up that buy side, tapped the daily gaps, and then sold off. So it is what it is. These losses happen. If you look at my journal, it's a great loss. I built good habits. I was an observer and I reacted. I should have de-risked a bit more. Here you can see risk 0.84, break even. Risk a lot, lose a lot. But you risk a lot, you win a lot. 1 mini, I'd happily take that setup again with 1 mini. Combine was not a break even. It was 2 losses, but again, great risk, great trades. These losses will happen. Take them on the chin and move on. It's a great trade. It's a great trading day. And I was saying here, If I was bullish, it would have been a bad habit because it was just guessing and it would have worked, giving false conviction. I couldn't have been bullish today at all. And then again, the major mistake was not de-risking as soon as Angelo was taken. But overall, great habits were built. So that covers today. I know it's a long one. It's been 20 minutes now. But that is my recap. I'm so happy today. I'm genuinely smiling. I've lost like total 1,600, but it's such a great day. I would take these trades again and again and again. And my bias was never proved wrong, which is another good thing. My draw on liquidity, my outlook on price going in was still correct. And that's great. That is great. So I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.